Thank you for joining in this class. On this practice, we're going to focus on spine and shoulder stretches. Even if you don't have much previous experience from yoga classes, you're still going to be able to do this practice because it's a very slow pace, a very easy and simple practice targeting only mainly the upper body. All you need for this practice is just a yoga mat and a comfortable clothes at home where you can move around without much restriction. So let's just get started. Coming down to a child's pose. When you're bringing your big toes together, let the knees come apart and see if you can sit on the heels with your hips. And once you're sitting down, you start walking forward, resting the arms over the head. If you can come to a full child's pose with the arms all the way reaching forward, you're going to bring the forehead on the mat. If this is a little bit too much, just place your palms, walk your hands back and place the palms under the forehead. And just rest like that for a few moments here. You can also close your eyes in child's pose. And just take maybe 5 breaths in and out on the nose and start establishing a steady, continuous pace of breath. Just start coming to this internal awareness for this 15-20 minutes when nothing else matters. Only yourself, only what you're doing on the mat. And if you have your palms under your forehead, just extend the arms forward. You're going to create a cup shape with your palms, pressing your fingertips down and trying to stretch the whole spine. It's almost like you wanna crawl forward, but your hip is not moving anywhere. Your hip still stays heavy on the heels. And just take an inhale here, and on the exhale, with a small baby steps, start walking both hands to the same side. Walk to your right side first. And you're gonna be noticing the stretch starting from the left hip bone towards your left armpit. And just stay here. Taking an inhale in this side bend one more time. And on the exhale, slowly walking back to the center. Inhale here with a straight spine in neutral line. And on the exhale, with small steps, walking to your left side. And again, take one more inhale. And on the exhale, walk back to the center. Now slowly roll up to a tabletop position. When you come into all fours, keeping the hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. And on the next inhale, bring your right arm up towards the ceiling and look up to your right hand, trying to keep the hips even and really reach with your arms up, opening up the chest. Take one more inhale, and on the exhale, slowly bring your right palm back on the mat. Just stay here for a moment. And then switching sides, next inhale, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Doesn't matter how open you can be. It's more about just doing the pose. Reaching with your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then bring the left palm back down on the mat. Okay, you can shake a little bit the spine around just to start moving the body a little bit more free. And then on the next inhale, as you drop your belly, lifting the hips up, lifting your tailbone up, shoulders rolling back and your head is lifting. So you're going to create a deep front line stretch. And on the exhale, round that spine, and you're gonna bring the chin close to your chest, pushing the space between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. 2 more times on the inhale, arch the back here as you're looking up with the head. And on the exhale, round that spine, bring the chin to the chest. One last time, inhale. And on the exhale, again, come to cat-cow movement, final pose. And when you come back to neutral line, sit back on the heels into child's pose one more time. With your arms staying over the head, next inhale, come lie down on the belly. Just slowly bring the whole body on the ground. And on the exhale, chest, forehead on the mat, palms under your shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest away from the mat into just a tiny cobra. Again, stretching at the front. And on the exhale, folding back. Inhale, pushing back to all fours. And on the exhale, sit back on the heels into a child's pose. From here again, slowly come up to tabletop position again. Curl the toes behind you. Just tuck your toes under. Start leaning backwards with the hips. And you're going to be lifting the knees away from the mat into a downward facing dog. Pushing the hips high towards the ceiling. Come on your tiptoes. Inhale, round the spine and slowly drop the knees on the mat. Bring the feet together and on the exhale, sitting back into your child's pose. Next, inhale with arms staying forward. Come lie down on the front. Belly and forehead on the mat. Inhale, lift the chest up into a little cobra. And on the exhale, folding back again. Inhale, pushing back to all fours. This time, tuck the toes and straight go to downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Maybe move around a little bit with your legs, with your hips. But after a few rounds of moving, just keep your tailbone lifting up, lengthening the spine. Slowly walk forward with both legs towards the hands. And as you're staying at the top of the mat, grabbing onto the elbows and a little bit move around, letting gravity pull your spine into a stretch. Just a little bit wobble here from side to side. From the toes back to the heels and again back to the toes. Interlock the hands behind and add a little bit of shoulder stretch to this forward fold. Release the hands down and start rounding yourself up with a curved spine, slowly starting from your lower back, then your middle back, upper back, and lastly your shoulders and head coming back. From here, we're going to do this movement a few more times. Just keep the feet under the hips, hands next to you. And first we're going to round the spine, starting from the chin, coming close to the chest, stretching the back of the neck. Then you're rounding even further, stretching out the space between the shoulder blades. Then you're going even further down slowly until you reach the hands to the ground or to the legs. Inhale. Lengthen the spine forward, whether you keep the hands on the mat or you walk the hands up to your shin, doesn't matter. Just flatten out your spine. And on the exhale, folding back again. And on the next inhale, round yourself up the same way, curving up. And back to standing. We're going to do it one more time. Same thing. Start from your chin, rounding, coming to the chest. Keep your arms heavy. And round, round, round all the way. Go down. Keep the hands either on the ground or at your shin bone. Inhale, flatten the spine, lift forward the head. And on the exhale again, fold back. And the last time, inhale, slowly round yourself up. Keep the arms and head heavy. And back to standing. Good. And now with your arms reaching up to the ceiling on the next inhale. And on the exhale, fold forward. This time, see if you can grab your big toes. One more time, inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the head, and on the exhale, come to a forward fold, standing. Pulling the head a little bit closer towards your knees. Focusing on the breath, just a steady in and out breath on the nose. And release your big toes. Walk the hands a little bit further forward. And then step both feet back to downward facing dog. Again, inhale, drop your knees on the mat. Exhale, sit back on the heels into a child's pose. Inhale, come forward, lie down on your belly. Exhale, lower your forehead on the mat. Inhale, lifting up to a cobra. Exhale, folding back. Inhale, push up to all fours. And one more time, exhale, tuck your toes and push your hips high, coming back to your downward facing dog. Just stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, whatever feels nice, stretching out the whole backside. Keep consistent nostril breathing. You can also probably assess the body, notice how the pose feels now compared to the start of the practice when you just did your first stretch. And once you finish with your 5 breaths, come down, lying down, the whole front line on the mat. Now you're going to place one arm to the side. You can start with your right hand. Right palm is staying in line with your shoulder. Left palm under your left shoulder. Keep the 90 degrees shape. So your arms exactly 90 degrees with your torso. And you're going to be slowly opening up towards the left side. See if you can step your left foot behind you, just to give you a bit of more support on the hip. If you can bring this left arm behind your back, just go for it. And then come back on the ground. Just roll yourself back. Place this arm 90 degrees. And again, just come up to the same way. This time just you're stretching a different part of your right shoulder. And again, come back. Switching to the other side, left arm is extended. And again, open up to this time to your right side. Your right leg can step behind you. And maybe your your right hand comes behind the back. You can also keep it in front of you just to give you more support. And roll back. Create that 90 degree shape with your left arm and open to your right side one more time. And again, come back. And from here, push yourself back to a child's pose. Rest the arms over the head. And from child's pose, come back again to your downward facing dog. Lift the hips high, stretch out the whole spine. Breathing into this extension of your spine. And just walk your legs forward. Bring the legs in front of you. Open up the legs to a little bit wider seat. Keeping the arms in front. And see if you can start walking forward, maybe just resting on your elbows or your arms stay extended. Or if you can hold onto your big toes with both hands, see if you can a little bit fold forward. Pressing the whole time, press your heels onto the mat, onto the ground. And on the inhale, come back. Bring your legs back together. Keep your legs next to each other. We're going to do very similar like we did standing. So we're going to start bringing the chin close to the chest as we're rounding the spine. And we're going to slowly walk the hands forward, maybe on your shin until you can reach the feet. If you can't reach the feet, keep the hands down. And you're trying to create a roundness in your spine this time. This is to stretch out the whole fascial line in the back of the body. So starting from chin in, rounding. And if you go very slowly, you're probably going to be able to feel it in different parts of the leg, different parts of the spine. And slowly walk back the same way. And the second time you're going to do again, this time you're going to do extension, interlock the hands, inhale, round. Lift the arms, reach up with your hands, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, as you're folding forward, maybe grab the feet. If you can't grab the feet, just keep the hands next to you. And again, come back the same way. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, bring the arms down. Pull up your right leg and place it across the left knee. Right hand behind you, inhale, left arm up. And on the exhale, grab this right knee with your left elbow, or maybe place the left elbow on the outside and come to a nice deep twist. Looking over your right shoulder. On the inhale, you can always try to lift the spine a little bit higher, and on the exhale, deepen that twist. Release, change sides. Pull up your left heel on the outside of your right knee. Left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm up. And on the exhale again, you can either grab this knee with your right elbow or elbow outside. You can come to a deeper twist. And release the pose. Lying back on the mat. Slowly roll yourself down to the ground. Hugging both knees into your chest. With your arms next to you, cross your legs, one knee crossing the other knee. You can start with your right knee on top of the left, right side on top of the left. Shift your hip to the right side. And you're going to be slowly bringing both knees towards your left side. And turn the head to the opposite direction. And keep the palms facing up. And come back. Switching legs. So maybe your left knee is on top of the right. Slightly shift your hip towards the upper thigh, whichever is the upper thigh, you're slightly bringing the hip to that direction a little bit. And then release both knees together to the other side and turn the head opposite direction. You can stay here in this supine twist for however long it feels nice. Usually 3 to 5 breaths is perfectly enough. But if it feels good to stay here longer, just do so. And again, back to the middle, to the center. Uncross your legs, hug the knees into your chest. And you can lie down with your feet straight on the mat, palms next to you. And just feel free to stay here for however long it feels nice, 3 to 5 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me in this practice, and hope I see you again next time.